Okay, hi guys. You okay? Good morning. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you. Well, I'm here in Vancouver. Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Good, thank you. So good to be in Vancouver. Yesterday I did a very important announcement to support research in Canada, $1.3 billion for more than 9,700 researchers and for many research projects, because Canada is, of course, not for sale, but we're open for business and open for science. And here today I'm meeting with a lot of business leaders, CEOs, to talk about how we can protect jobs in light of this trade war, but also how can we create jobs, because we need to attract much more investments to make sure that our economy is strong. So that's why I'm here. I'll just say it in French very quickly and I can take questions. Donc, je suis ici à Vancouver. Hier, j'ai fait une annonce importante, 1,3 milliard de dollars pour soutenir plus de 9700 chercheurs et projets scientifiques. Le Canada n'est pas à vendre, mais bien entendu, nous sommes ouverts à faire les affaires, nous sommes ouverts à soutenir le secteur de la science. Et aujourd'hui, j'aurai l'occasion de rencontrer un peu plus tard les leaders du milieu des affaires, parce que nous voulons protéger des emplois, mais aussi nous voulons en créer. Et ce sera le cœur de mes discussions ici à Vancouver. Ready to take your questions.
Vous allez faire concrètement pour lutter contre
Bien, en fait, à tous les jours, nous sommes dans une guerre tarifaire et nous nous défendons. Et c'est pourquoi nous avons mis en place des contre-tarifs très, très importants. Nous prenons note de la décision du président Trump concernant les tarifs liés au cuivre. Nous allons étudier les détails, parce que nous avons très peu de détails pour l'instant, mais nous savons que quand le président Trump parle, nous devons l'écouter. Et donc, j'ai été en contact aussi avec Glencore et également Tech Resources hier. Et je vais continuer mes conversations avec les différents producteurs et transformateurs de cuivre. Well, of course, we denounce these illegal tariffs, and we think that they're a direct attack against our workers and now on in the copper industry, and so we'll fight against them. My job as the Minister of Industry is to make sure to engage with the companies and to engage with the union leaders. I've started yesterday. I spoke with Glencore and I went also to Tech Resources, and at the same time I'll be continuing my engagement later today. I have many phone calls that are already scheduled, and I'm of course in contact with my colleagues also on this. We are waiting for the details of this decision by the White House and by the President, but we'll fight against it, period.
Are you speaking to lumber companies? We've spoken a lot about protections and comes tariffs on steel, aluminum, autos. Could lumber workers and lumber companies see something similar if Section 2 tariffs are on?
So we know that the lumber industry is extremely important, particularly for BC, particularly for many regions also in the east part of Canada. So my colleague Tim Hutchins has been also very much engaging with the lumber industry. I'll have conversations today, and we're in solution mode. The issue with lumber has been long-standing, and we've always denounced it, and we've always fought against it, and so that's why we'll continue to do. This is our position of principle.
Are those duties part of the ongoing negotiations between the Prime Minister and the President?
Of course, everything is on the table because we're always denouncing any form of illegal tariffs, and we think that that's affecting, like you said, steel, aluminum, and also auto, and potentially now copper. But we also have a long-standing issue with the lumber industry that we need to be able to address. Je viens de les donner. J'ai répondu à cette question-là. Merci. Sur le bois d'œuvre, en fait, comme je mentionnais, la question du bois d'œuvre, elle est très, très importante. Je sais que depuis très longtemps, nous avons un enjeu avec les Américains concernant les tarifs qu'ils imposent contre nos travailleurs et contre notre industrie du bois d'œuvre. Alors, nous allons continuer d'avoir cette position de principe, de nous battre contre ces tarifs-là et aussi de faire en sorte de travailler avec l'industrie sur une solution.
Qu'est-ce que vous pensez du contrat qui a été donné à la Chine?
Ben, je pense que la réaction de la ministre Freeland est claire, la réaction aussi du ministre Robertson est claire et j'ai rien à rajouter.
Zero, the reserve mandate. Are you discussing that problem? Is it going to do
So on ZEV mandates, I think there are two things. First, we know that there are illegal tariffs against the auto industry, which are completely unacceptable, and we're fighting against them. And we know that the industry is facing huge challenges because of these tariffs. So we're working on a auto support fund of worth $2 billion. So we're in solution mode there, while also imposing counter tariffs. At the same time, we know that we need to help the industry to modernize itself. And we know that there's been lots of investments in the electric vehicle sector. So we think we can do both. We think that we can be very pragmatic to make sure that we support the sector, and at the same time we can help with this adoption of new vehicles. And in that context, we're having many conversations about it, and we'll have more to say in the coming weeks. Thank you.
You
have a tiny mic stand.
What about it?
A mic stand.
Oh, it's not mine.
Good morning, everyone. I'm really delighted to have you all here and to have such a great representation from our federal government and from British Columbia. We have media in the room, obviously, and they're going to stay for a couple of minutes as we get things going, and then the media will leave the room and we're going to open it up to a conversation. But I would like to first, I know most of you, but I'm Bridgitte Anderson, the President and CEO of the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade. And I would like to begin by acknowledging that we're gathered here on the traditional and unceded territories of the Coast Salish people, the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome back the Honourable Mélanie Joly. And the last time you were with us, you were in a different role. And now in your new role as Minister of Industry, obviously the people gathered around the table, lots of questions given the new core priorities of the federal government, which align very much with the core priorities of the Greater Vancouver Board of Trade and our members in the business community. Also delighted to have with us Gregor Robertson, and welcome and congratulations on your new role as Minister of Housing. We also have Jill McKnight with us, who was the former CEO of the Delta Chamber of Commerce, so one of our own colleagues in her new role as well. And we've got Jonathan Wilkinson with us, Jay Sawatsky, and we also have Zoe Royer. So we have a very full contingency of our MPs here in British Columbia. I will first hand it over to Minister Robertson to introduce Minister Joly, and then we'll have a few remarks and then open it up to a conversation.
Okay, thank you very much, Bridgitte. Great to be here, everyone. Great to see many of you again. And bienvenue à Vancouver, Mélanie.
Merci, merci.
It's great to be gathered and to have the opportunity to talk for this hour, check in on some very important fronts. For me, it's like old home week. Really happy to be back home after a very intense and productive session in Ottawa. Since the election, we got right to it. But for me, obviously being here brings back many memories of the time I had at City Hall serving as your mayor, and obviously working very closely with the Board of Trade over those years, which I think we look back on as very prosperous, lots of momentum building through those years, 08 to 18. If you're keeping score, we had a lot of big global marquee events. We had basically unparalleled growth, job growth as a city. We led the country on economic growth. For most of my years at City Hall, we were on a real roll, basically starting in 2010 with the Olympic and Paralympic Games, but we kept on that trajectory through a solid decade there. I'm really honored to be joining you as your new Minister of Housing and Infrastructure, and also responsible for Pacific Can, which is the economic development arm of the federal government here in BC. Lots of opportunity to partner on that, and we have been partnering, obviously, and working in concert to help grow and strengthen the economy here in BC. We were elected as a government to build, and for my part, I'm very focused on this historic moment. The challenge and opportunity to really scale up the building of homes across Canada. We've set an ambitious goal of doubling construction in Canada over this next decade. That means building millions and millions of homes across Canada, and that being centered in this economic conversation too. As if you put together the components of real estate, of construction, all of the trades, all of the professions associated, the financing involved, it's by far the biggest industry in our country and globally. But it's very fragmented, very complex. We see it in all different parts. But we're taking an approach, and fantastic to be working with this team here who have a really economic mindset in terms of how we go forward, how we deal with the threat from our friends south of the border, though they might not be our friends in the executive branch. We're hopeful that we as a country can get through this by investing in ourselves. And that's definitely what the housing and infrastructure piece is about. What our Prime Minister has charged us with is leading the G7 in economic growth, building the strongest economy. I see housing and infrastructure as really central to that. And building off the successes, particularly in recent years, that certainly Jonathan and the team, programs that rolled out that have been very successful, that we've got to build on. It's not like changing everything right now. We've got to build on successes that we have and also recognize we're a new government. And in doing that, really creating the next generation of Canadian high-skilled jobs, of Canadian IP, particularly in building technologies. We have huge opportunities to scale up and modernize an industry that, frankly, has really lagged behind. And as a result of that, we lag behind in terms of the amount of affordable housing that we have in Canada. So lots more to talk about. I can come back to at a future time to talk more specifically on housing and infrastructure if you would like that. But I want to recognize our very special guest here, Minister Mélanie Joly, who's served for almost a decade now in Ottawa in the federal government. So she's, along with Jonathan, our KG veterans, who steer us through. Those of us newbies here, Jake, Jill, Zoe, and I bring experience in different ways, but we rely heavily on Jonathan and Mélanie, and fantastic to work with her on the industry economy side of things, which we've had opportunities to do that historically when she was previously as a minister and I as a mayor. So she will be a key ally for the Board of Trade for business across Canada. She's been doing an incredible job in a time of great crisis with industries affected by the tariffs, and I know she's got a race out of here today to go back into that battlefield, but we're really thrilled to have her here on the West Coast. And I would just say one call to action for all of you: Canada needs more BC, and the Board of Trade has been the most influential body of business and job creation in Western Canada. We need BC more present in Ottawa. So anything the Board of Trade can do to be a louder voice in Ottawa, supporting our efforts. We have 20 MPs now elected in the Liberal caucus, sitting in government right now. And we need your support to really raise the issues that are critical for BC and enable BC to help Canada more. We have an incredible, diverse economy here. We need to be contributing more, and we need to be showing up more at every opportunity to help our country. So I'll challenge you on that and look forward to working in partnership. And most of all, big thanks and welcome to Mélanie Joly.
Thank you, Gregor. I think it's worth a round of applause, guys. No? Thank you, Gregor. I agree that the federal government needs more BC, and that's exactly why I'm here. And of course, I'm happy to see Gregor, Jill, Jonathan, Jake, Zoe, who's been following me pretty much everywhere. And happy to see all of you. Yesterday, I was at Triumph. We announced a landmark announcement of $1.3 billion to support 9,700 researchers across the country, and also many other different research projects. While other countries are taking their own decisions regarding their own universities and regarding research, we believe in research, and we will attract the best and the brightest. And we'll have a brain gain strategy also soon, and I really hope that BC can benefit from it. Now, why am I here? Well, folks, I'm here in the context of a trade war. And what is the battlefield? Well, the battle is actually the economy, and the front lines are the sectors that are being tariffed. As of 2 days ago, these sectors were the steel, aluminum, and auto sectors. Now there's a new front line that is being opened, which is copper. And in that context, my three priorities are: first, protect jobs, particularly on these front lines. Second, it is to create jobs, because I really think we have a fantastic opportunity to create jobs, notwithstanding what's going on with the US. We can do so through the use of defense procurement. We will have major investments in the defense sector. We need to make sure we create jobs out of this defense procurement strategy. To give you an example, before the end of the fiscal year, March 31st, we will have invested $9 billion in defense. One national daycare strategy for the country is worth $1 billion, so 9 times that. And $3.2 billion of that will be for industrial benefits. So I want to make sure that BC gets its fair share of that investment. And so we will be working, of course, with Bridgitte and the Chamber, and I'll have more to with the Board of Trade, and I'll have more to say in the coming weeks about that. But I want you to bear that in mind. We can create jobs also, and Gregor was referring to it also, in, of course, housing, to build, but AI, tech, energy, critical minerals, and pharma. So these are the sectors we're really looking at to create jobs. And finally, we want to attract the best and the brightest and support our researchers. So working on a brain gain strategy is also my third priority. So let's focus on that. And of course, if you have any other issues, we can definitely talk about it. But I think the media have had enough of us. And we're always happy to see them, but we sometimes have enough of them too. So
Thank you very much, Minister.
Thank you. Thank you.